this is actually the vision board that I had for myself. I did not know how it was going to be possible, but it ended up becoming possible. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to create a vision board. Whatever puts you in the calmest, coziest, most inspired mood, do all of that. Hello everybody, it is Dingle here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing super duper well, and today my friends we are going to be doing something that is so much fun for me. It is very near and dear to my heart, and I actually only started it last year in 2021, and that is creating a vision board for this year 2022. But first, what we're going to do in this video is review my 2021 vision board and kind of look at the things that I feel like I accomplished last year that I put on my vision board. Some things that came about in kind of a magical sort of way, and other things that I didn't quite meet and how I feel about looking back at them. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to create a vision board as I create my 2022 vision board. If you are new to this channel and you are just seeing my face now, hello, my name is Mac Dingle, M-A-C-D-I-N-G-L-E. I live in Portland, Maine with my husband Jack. Yes, Mac and Jack. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below because we post videos like these and other lifestyle-esque content on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. Everybody, do not forget to give this video a big old thumbs up, and without further ado, let's get into it. I think something that's important to note for those of you who are new to vision boards are the why behind vision boards, why people make them, do they work, why people find such success in making vision boards versus not making vision boards. I would say the first reason is there is a massive difference in saying your goals or thinking your goals at the beginning of a year versus actually having a visual representation of your goals that you can look at every single day. And by seeing your goals physically in your reality every day, you subconsciously or actively, by seeing them, do little things throughout your day, your weeks, your months that align more with your goals that you wouldn't necessarily do if you weren't reminded of them every day. It's so easy to fall off and not align your daily actions to that overall goal. Because at the end of the day, a ton of goals are so achievable if we break them down into little bitty pieces that we can do every day to meet the bigger goal. So having that in your physical reality to remind yourself every day when you're writing your little to-do list and things like that, you'll subconsciously or actively put little tasks that align with those things versus if you just kept them in your head or in a notebook that you just shut and never opened for the rest of the year. And then I would say that the other reason that people make vision boards and find a lot of success in them is due to a more spiritually charged mentality. A massive component to concepts such as the law of attraction, the law of assumption, attracting things and goals that you have in your life to you physically is being able to visualize those things. And by being able to visualize those things that you want to attract into your life, whether it's relationships, love, abundance, anything that you want to physically attract into your life, the power of visualization there is huge, because if you can visualize it, it evokes the feelings of what you would feel if you had that thing. And the whole idea behind these laws is that like attracts like. So if you're able to raise your energy to feel the good, excited, fun feelings that you would feel if you had this specific thing, those emotions, you are a match for those things. You are embodying the like attracts like mentality of these concepts and of these laws. But you might be sitting there thinking, okay, Mac, this is getting a little too juju for me. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't have that sort of spiritual why behind wanting to make your vision board, it is not just for the people who want to practice that spirituality sort of thing. If you simply just want to put your goals on a thing that you can see every day to align your physical actions to those, this is also for you. I just wanted to give the two main reasons of why people find such success in vision boards. But with that said, let's take a dive into the vision board that you guys saw last year. But I also want to show you my secret personal vision board that I did not show you last year. So here is the vision board that you all saw me create last year. And there is a lot of truth to this vision board as far far as things I was looking to attract, goals that I had, etc. But there's one section that I'm going to show you that you guys can probably guess, and if you have joined my Twitch streams, you know the real version of this vision board that I had behind the scenes. And the only difference between this, what I called public vision board, and my own personal vision board that I put on my desktop, on my phone, everywhere that I would look constantly during the day, this is actually the vision board that I had for myself. As you can see, the only major difference that I had was in the top right corner, and it was around pregnancy, babies, nurseries, all of that. If you guys haven't caught up on my infertility journey so far, I will leave a few videos that would catch you up linked down below. Basically, at this point last year, we were approaching 1 year of trying to conceive naturally without any success. And so I was convinced that in 2021, this would be our year. It definitely was our year in some cases, and I will get into that, but we did not end up conceiving in 2021. So you guys will see a lot of pictures pertaining to that remind me of that on probably 2022's vision board. But let's take a tour around the vision board, shall we? And see what kind of things we accomplished together. Starting in the top left, I'll always have 1042 on my vision boards because that is my particular angel number. A lot of people see 111, 222, 333, and if you're new to angel numbers or don't quite understand the concept, it's basically a sign from anything that you believe in greater than yourself that you're on the right track, that you're doing the right thing. It's giving you a sign if you're thinking a particular thing. And when I tell you I see 1042 everywhere, oh my gosh. For example, this is just one example, one crazy example. I get served up a lot of videos on my homepage about pregnancy and birth vlogs, but on this particular day on my homepage, I was served up a video specifically about women finding out they're pregnant after infertility. I thought that was very niche, but I do know that the algorithm is looking for things that I might want to watch very personal to me. So I knew that it was definitely an algorithm thing. But when I saw the timestamp of how long that video was specifically, it was specifically 10 minutes and 42 seconds long. So not only was it pertaining to pregnancy after infertility, but the length of the video was specifically my angel number. So I like to keep that on my vision board to just keep the vibes high because that number means a lot to me. Behind that timestamp, I have a woman in specifically airy clothing, and then kind of kitty corner to that, we have a woman kind of in the snow in Fabletics clothing. And those two things represented my goal of working with brands last year. Now, did I necessarily succeed with those particular brand collaborations? Not necessarily, but last year I did have the honor of working with a couple brands, but one of which was Merit Beauty, which is a minimalistic beauty company that is sold in Sephora. And when they reached out to me that they wanted to collaborate, it was, oh my, I was shocked. I was literally shocked. So Merit, if you're watching this, thank you so much. But something that I did not do last year was reach out to brands, was put myself out there, was make relationships with such brands. Kind of do any steps to get there in general. And the point of goals or attracting things into your life isn't that they'll just spontaneously happen out of magic. Sometimes they do, for sure, but you also have to take inspired action to get there. And I know the steps that it would take in order to get me closer to working with brands that I know and love myself right now, but I took none of those steps last year. And I would say that's a major issue with confidence, and that is something that I am carrying into 2022, just the notion that what is possible for others is also possible for me. That is such a major concept that is so hard to wrap my brain around. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have major imposter syndrome. I've had it my whole life. Literally everything other people can do is because they are so much better than me in my mind, and I could never achieve those things. But that is a mindset that I am sick of having. That is a mindset that I am leaving in the past, and that is a mindset that I'm working on when it comes to 2022 and realizing my own potential and my own confidence and what I can achieve. So did I land those collaborations? Not necessarily. Did I still get to work with a couple brands last year? Yes. So I definitely look at it as a semi-success with the awakening, so to speak, of wanting to regain and rebuild my confidence this year. Also, Also on here, I have Twitch and YouTube. I specifically have 100,000 subscribers plaque here, and while that would have been super freaking cool, I did continue to grow both on YouTube and Twitch, and I did continue to have it a core center of my goals last year. And taking action pertaining to those two social media accounts last year, I was very active, I was very consistent with my YouTube uploads as well as my Twitch streams. So I would call that a success. I just wanted to put those on there to keep those goals in mind and to keep that focus in mind. Here at the bottom, you'll see an image with a quote that says, "I'm so proud of you." And for this one specifically, it was a massive success because I had this relationship in my life that I had been holding so much resentment over due to things that happened in the past. And I thought that that resentment would be healed with time, and it turns out it didn't work. And for the past couple of years before 2021, I was just holding on to it, hoping it would go away. It never went away. I knew the only way it would get better was with a conversation with that person, because at the end of the day, as much as I wanted to convince myself that this relationship didn't mean a lot to me, it meant the world to me. And that's why it wouldn't go away. This resentment and this feeling of not being able to let go. But I didn't have a desire to let go of that relationship. I just wanted to take the steps to fix it. So this particular photo represented that and represented the conversation that I wanted to have with this person. And if I didn't have this on my vision board, I think I still would have pushed this conversation off, because confrontation is never fun, but it's definitely necessary. And in the end, it's the best decision that I could have made for that relationship. So that was a massive success. Right next to it is a Kindle. You guys know that I had a goal last year of just getting into more books, reading more books. Last year, I read 8 books, which seems like nothing compared to what a lot of people read, but that was massive for me. I haven't read a single book in years before 2021, and the fact that I was able to read 8 in a year was huge. So having this on my vision board was definitely a reminder to, instead of scroll so much on social media or find something to do on my computer, instead it was to pick up a book or build the habit of reading before bed instead of watching videos. Hence the purchase of my Kindle, because with the backlight, I was able to take the Kindle to bed while the lights were still off in the bedroom. So I wasn't disturbing Jack with the light. I was able to read before bed, and that definitely kick-started the reading goal for me in the beginning of 2021. So that was a huge success. I have a couple of quotes on here that I think are pretty self-explanatory. They don't necessarily mean specific things, but just the mindset that I wanted to have last year. I wanted to keep those reminders on my vision board so that when I was looking at it every day, I would have the reminder that you can absolutely have these things that you want. You just have to take inspired action, keep these goals in front of your mind, and keep pushing forward. This picture of the woman, I think that's Jess Conti. It's so confusing because I think that's Jess Conti, but for some reason, her face doesn't look like her sometimes. Like, part of me looked at that and said, oh, obviously that's Jess Conti, but every time I look at that face, I'm like, is it though? I'm not sure. It's just slightly different. But either way, this represented my desire to work out consistently last year, become more fit, eat cleaner. And although I didn't think my physical nature necessarily shifted a lot, the other week, kind of in December, maybe early January, I woke up, I was brushing my teeth, doing my thing, and I looked in the mirror and I saw what I could slightly make out where abs would go if I had them, and it was insane. That was after a few weeks of going to the gym with Jack, which I started doing in December. I think the biggest part for me was finding nutritional meals that I really enjoyed eating for mostly breakfast and lunch, and of course for dinner, since Jack and I were eating that together. But not only that, I was actually able to meet the goal of working out consistently 4 to 5 days out of the week. You guys saw me doing this all the time. I just did at-home workouts on Apple Fitness that we purchased a year subscription of. They were so great. I introduced dumbbells, I introduced strength training, but the purchase of those dumbbells as well as the introduction of that strength training really helped me to like the actual workouts. I hate cardio, I hate running. So not doing those things was great, and finding that groove for myself that was building muscle, I felt stronger. It was just such a great fit for me. And it led me into being motivated to start going to the gym with Jack in the end, which I think is definitely the next step, and I'm so excited. But between those things and then realizing that my body had shifted even slightly was a huge success for me. Right above that fitness photo, you'll see the Magic Kingdom castle. If you guys can remember, at the beginning of last year, we went to Florida. Now, that trip was booked like in September of the year previous. It was booked because TwitchCon was canceled, and the tickets that we had in September were going to San Diego for TwitchCon. We obviously couldn't do that, so we switched them to a random place in Florida. We thought that in February we were going to want to be in Florida, somewhere warm, have a vacation after a year of no vacations. And so we chose Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We didn't know anything about Florida. We just wanted to go to the beach and have it be warm. But with that reminder every day of looking at it, and with a little bit of magic dust, I would say, I ended up looking up how far it was from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, Florida, and it was a good 3-ish hour drive for sure. But we knew if we got up super early to get there around lunchtime, we would have hours upon hours in the park, and it's something that we just made happen. And I'm so grateful for it. But that is something that I definitely did not understand how it was going to happen, because we had already had those tickets booked months in advance, and we already had them switched months in advance. So it's something that really serendipitously came about after I had made the vision board. I put a dog on here, and did I really think that we were going to get a dog this year? No, our apartment complex does not allow dogs, and I don't necessarily have a connection with anything that happened this past year with dogs. We just have continued to want one, but it was cute on my vision board anyway. Moving down to that Mini Cooper, you guys know that we test drove a Mini Cooper Countryman, a 2022 model, back in early to mid 2021. That's actually the car that Jack and I still have our eye on, and we were thinking we were gonna purchase it last year. But now that I can share this with you guys, we figured that until we were pregnant, there's absolutely no need for a second car until then. So it's really about saving up as much of a down payment for a car as we can. So the loan, if any loan that we would take out, would be minimal. So instead of purchasing the car last year, that was our goal, we decided to continue to put money into savings in order to save up for a bigger down payment on the car. But last year, because going over to the picture right next to it of the money, we had randomly, unexpectedly come into money that we did not expect whatsoever. There was no plans for it. We didn't know it was going to happen. It was very, very out of the blue. But because of that, it made the car actually very possible for us last year. But because of the reasons of saving up for a down payment, like I said, we're not going to purchase a car until we find it absolutely necessary. But it was really freaking cool that last year it actually became possible, and I did not know how it was going to be possible, but it ended up becoming possible. And then in the top right corner with the ultrasound picture, the pregnant belly, the nursery, is all represented having our fertility journey come to an end with a baby. And although that didn't come to fruition for us, last year was a major year when it come to taking concrete steps to starting our family. And when I made this vision board, I had zero idea of what that looked like. I didn't have an OB appointment booked because we hadn't been trying for a year quite yet, so I hadn't made the call yet. Hence, we didn't have the referral for the fertility clinic from my OB. So last year, all of that happened. We ended up getting our first OB appointment and taking serious steps to starting a family. And so although this specific end goal didn't come to fruition, it still was a massive year pertaining to that. So now that we have reviewed last year's vision board, I would love nothing more than to get into the mindset, get into the positive vibes to make our 2022 vision board. And I would love to take you along. I would love to show you exactly how I make vision boards in case you want to follow along to make your own or get inspiration for your own. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just set the vibes right in the room. It is so important as you're creating your vision board to get in the right headspace to create the environment that you want to create. And part of that for me is putting on some sort of cozy ambiance on the TV, something that inspires me, something that makes me feel nice and cozy, brings me all the positive vibes. And I've been loving this scene actually, by the Alley of Ambiance. As you can hear, it always has these really cozy sounds also. So I love the snow, I love the cat in the corner. It's literally just like the best. And I also make sure my environment around me is cozy. I've got my pillows, I've got some good colors around me, I've got hippo. Maybe you light a candle, maybe you have some essential oils going, whatever puts you in the calmest, coziest, most inspired mood, do all of that. And the first thing that I'm going to do before I dive into gathering photos on Pinterest is to make a general list of the things that I'm looking to put on my vision board, the goals that I have, the things that I would like to attract, the things like financial abundance. I always put that on in general. It's always nice to have that mindset. I feel like people don't talk about money, but it's something that we all want. So go ahead and put that on there. No shame in our game. I want to continue growing a supportive online community. So I'll put that on there. We definitely by the end of this year would like to pull the trigger on the Mini Cooper Countryman, or at least test drive other cars that we want to put on the table as far as our next kind of family car goes. Grow my confidence. So I'd love things that remind me of that mindset, to keep that at the top of mind. The quote that I love so much, and I couldn't actually find it on Pinterest, so I made it myself for when I was setting up my iPad actually. What is possible for others is possible for me. Everything baby. Everything baby. And by already sharing our fertility journey the first week in January, I just feel so much more connected to this dream, and I definitely want to represent that on my vision board. So my list isn't necessarily complete. I'll definitely continue noodling that over before I dive in. But now with this list, you can go on to Pinterest and say we're looking for a photo that represents financial abundance for ourselves. This photo can literally be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a photo of money. It could be a nice house interior, just to remind yourself of what financial abundance might look like to you. It could be a fancy dinner restaurant, something very aesthetic like this fondue platter. It's just to evoke the feeling of the goal of financial abundance so that you have that on your vision board to see every day. So whatever the photo means to you, that's all that matters. Also, maybe there's somewhere you want to go this year. So I would love, I don't have any plans for it necessarily right now, but I would love a tropical vacation. So I'll put tropical vacation aesthetic. And there's just gorgeous, gorgeous pictures, endless gorgeous pictures of tropical vacations that would definitely fit into the vision board and something that would evoke these feelings for me. So what you're gonna do is click on pictures on Pinterest, right click on this image, and then you can say save image as, you can say tropical beach photo, and you save it to your downloads, and then you can collect those in your downloads folder. Now this is where making it comes in. So I love using PicMonkey. It's just my go-to. I know a lot of people are fans of Canva. I use PicMonkey, as you can see, for all of my YouTube thumbnails and anything else that I need really. And so what you're gonna wanna do is create a blank canvas, and then you see how you can create custom up here. I'm gonna look up the dimensions of desktop wallpaper, for example. There's all of these different dimensions. So I'm gonna do a 1920 by 1080 because I just recognized those, I guess. 1920 by 1080, and you click make it. And now you have this blank canvas. And you go ahead and you click photos and videos over here. You go add photo or video, and you just upload the ones from your downloads folder. I just have 3 so far, but just to show you guys in case you want to do it along with me, click on the images that you just uploaded, and you can see that you can start to play with the size of these images, where you want them to go. I would most suggest that you kind of put all of your images kind of slapped on on to your vision board, and then you can just go ahead and move them around. What I love about PicMonkey is on this sidebar right here, these are your layers, so you can always just go ahead and select different photos. So if one's under one, it doesn't matter, you can still grab it if you want. And then you can move these layers up and down. So I can move this tropical beach photo to be under the mini one, for example, or if I wanted this money one that's going behind the beach photo to go kind of overlaid on top of the beach one, you could always drag this money one on top of the beach one, and there you go, it's on top. But use whatever tool works for you. If you're proficient in Photoshop, go for it. If you're proficient in Canva, go for it. So now I'm going to brainstorm even more, dig deep into the things that I want to accomplish or attract this year, find pretty aesthetically pleasing photos on Pinterest to put on my vision board, and then create the vision board for 2022. Let's get into it. Days later, today is Sunday. Happy Sunday. Jack and I just got back from my parents' house where we helped them stack their wood for the winter, and we absolutely killed it. It was awesome. But as far as the vision board is concerned, I am obsessed. I really like how it turned out. I spent a couple days not looking at it at all, and when I came back and opened it, I really liked it, so that's always a good sign. But what I'm gonna do is take this vision board and resize it into a phone size, just make a new project in a phone size dimension and find good places for where the photos fit together in that size. And then I'm going to make it my phone background, my iPad background, and my computer background, just so it is the center of attention for this year and keeping my focus on my goals and my dreams for the upcoming year. If you all enjoyed this video and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do so down below, because we upload videos like these every single Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. Everyone, don't forget to give this video a big ol' thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next video, my friends. I'll see you later. Bye!